tripod for my camera, so unfortunately, we're gonna have to just work with the angle. Okay, so I'm going through his coat with the Greyhound comb, a metal comb, but I actually went through with this first. See this mat breaker? It has these serrated edges here. It can literally cut your skin, so you gotta be careful. But I went through behind his ears back here where there's those big heavy mats. You can like feel the balls of matted hair, like cotton balls back here. Oh, it's still catching on some. Okay. See? So just pull out, cut them out. There we go. So once they're broken up like that, wow, I can't believe I can't believe it matted up again that quickly. Well, it's because there's still dead hair there. It's not like all the dead hair is combed out. It comes out a little bit at a time, but as long as the dead hair is still there, the dry, damaged hair. Imagine a pine cone, a dry brown pine cone, how all the little scales are wide open and it's just dry and rough. That's what the dead hair looks like under a microscope. The hair fibers, they're actually scaly. They have scales all the way down the hair fiber. And when they're old and damaged, they they open up like a dry pine cone. And that's why they just stick together like Velcro. They become sticky. That's why water and moisture kind of sticks to it, when they go outside, little tags and, like little branches and stuff will stick to their coat. And then this is what it is. See that? Crazy. I just combed all of that out basically and just it matted up again in that short of a time. So there we go. But here's the thing though. Had I just shaved that out, had I just shaved all of the mats out right here, then it would be even harder to clear those pores because the skin is jam packed with all that dead hair, old sebaceous oils, being produced by the sebaceous glands that are in there. They got dead skin cells, just other cellular debris that gets it caught up in there. Just like us, how we get blackheads and pimples and stuff get our pores get clogged. And we don't even have this much going on in our skin. So just imagine how easy it is for their pores to get all clogged up. And so when I comb this dead hair out like this, along with it, if you get the right angle, you'll see like powdery stuff just coming out, pouring out. Because as I'm combing this out, all that powdery stuff that's clogging those pores, it comes out as you comb that dead hair out of that skin. And I'm not trying to go for perfect. So even though the comb does catch a little bit here, a little bit there, as long as I'm able to get it through, see, I've already combed this leg here out, the toes here, in between the toes were just, oh, so nasty and matted. But now we got all of that worked out. And I got the back leg here combed out. Now I just have to do the other side, the other two legs. And I got his head all combed out. But this is what I'm talking about. All of this nasty fuzzy stuff. And the thing is, if I were to just wash him, then it would only make everything worse. And I probably would have to just go ahead and shave him, right down to the skin. Because if I don't comb all of this dead hair out, even when I just leave it alone for a few minutes, it starts to mat back up. Just imagine what would happen if I washed it. You know what I'm saying? And start trying to dry it. It's just gonna make those matted hair like just tighten up. It's gonna make everything nasty. They're not gonna dry well. So it would get to the point where it's like, all right, we just have to start over and just shave them down. So I'm trying to avoid that. I like to use shaving the dog as a last resort. So if I don't have to shave them, then I really do like to take the time and clear these pores out because I'm not doing it for vanity. I'm not doing it because, oh, they look so nice when they're fluffy and they're not shaved. It has nothing to do with that. For me, I'm trying to keep their skin healthy. I'm trying to clear all this out so that their skin can actually heal itself. Because the skin and coat is a living system. The skin is the largest organ of their body. It's always working to heal itself and try to work all of this stuff out, that I'm combing out. It's trying to work it out. But especially when the sun is intense, they say June 21st, December 21st, the longest, shortest days of the year, is when the dogs shed the most. But also, you'll notice that in the spring and fall, they shed a lot too, because it's all in response to the changing sunlight. Sorry, I got stuck in a mat here. Okay, there we go. All that just matted hair. It's like wool, like old wool, or cotton, just kind of hanging out there at the skin. And that's why when you brush your dog using like a pin brush, something like this, that's why it's not going to work. It's nothing. It's not going to help you because this pin brush is not strong enough to get down where the mats are. So I'll show you here on his leg. If I brush him with a pin brush like this, right, it's going to separate that top coat. It's going to separate that top layer of hair. So it gives it the illusion that it's nice and brushed, right? It gives it the illusion of being, cleaned and combed, right? But I'll show you here all of the tangles and all of the matted hair, those little matted balls, those pin mats, they're all still there. See that? Look how it's catching. Because it's at the skin level, not the top coat. That's why people who brush their dogs, every day, they tell me, I brush my dog every day. Yeah, but what are you brushing them with, right? Because if I went to a dentist and my teeth looked horrible, gingivitis, halitosis, cavities, you name it, even a cold sores. Like, do you have herpes on top of that? You know, if I went to the dentist in that kind of condition and I told the dentist, but I brush my teeth every day, he would say, what are you using to brush your teeth? Are you using the needle from a crackhead? What are you using to brush your teeth with? Because it looks like shit. Are you using a butter knife? That's drenched in, oh, that's soaked in butter. Like what are you doing? So that's the thing. It's like, when people say, I brush my dog every day though. I don't understand why they're matted. Why you have to shave them? They didn't look matted. Well, it's because down at the skin level they were matted. You're not using the right tools. You're not doing it the right way. So even if you are brushing your teeth every day, if you're not doing it the right way, oh, you know what? Funny thing is, up until high school, I didn't even know how to brush my teeth properly. It took my dean in high school showing me that you actually have to go up and down with the bristles, not just side to side, up and down. Anyways, but yeah, it's like even if I was brushing my teeth every day, no wonder I had bad breath. I wasn't getting in between the teeth. And I didn't even floss in high school. I was like, floss for what? But yeah, it's like once we understand the importance of it and we do it properly, then you don't have any problems. But when the problems are evident, when it's clear that this comb is catching on mats and tangled hair, and you say, but it can't be, I'm brushing my dog every day. Well, no one's saying you're not. We're just, maybe the technique is wrong. Maybe you're not getting in there and actually pulling out. Maybe you're not using the right tools. Maybe you're using a plastic comb or a brush instead of a metal comb that's going to get down to that skin level. And here's the thing, there's still a lot of dead coat here. If I got the undercoat rake and started going through, I bet you I'll pull out a lot of dead coat. But I'm not trying to do all that. Right now, I'm just trying to get the comb through so that I get enough out, and then we'll get more out while I'm washing him. More of that stuff will come out, especially because there's room for it to come out. So I tell people, imagine a mason jar, a glass mason jar, you know, that's full of colored pencils, right? If it's full of colored pencils, like jam packed, full of colored pencils, then when you turn that mason jar upside down, those colored pencils won't come out, right? Because it's tight. They're all in there tight, and they're all packed in there. Now, let's say you remove a few of them, right? Let's say you remove 3 or 4 colored pencils, right? You pull it out of that mason jar, which will represent the dog's paw. You pull a few of those colored pencils out of that mason jar. Now you can kind of shake it, and there's room. You turn it upside down, they'll all come out, right? So similarly, by pulling out enough of these old hairs, old damaged hairs that are all fuzzy and nasty and just taking up space in those pores, by pulling them out of the skin, by removing it. Now, when I give them a bath, the water has room to enter those pores. The shampoo and the conditioner can actually do what it's supposed to do, you know? As much money as I paid for it. No, I was kidding. Thank you, buddy. Time out. Time out. He wants to make some love. Oh, man. Mm. Okay. I don't know why, but Tenacious D popped up in my head. All right. You guys ever heard that song? It is such a funny song. Anyways, um, okay. Oh, you guys don't even know which song I'm talking about because I can't sing it because it would be so inappropriate. Anyways, okay, so I'm going through, right? So now the comb can go through, right? Look at this. The thing is, you could tell by with this hair when you get enough of it together, you could tell why the dog looked dirty. The hair is discolored, it's stained, you know, it's kind of brownish, nasty, dull, lifeless, rough, you know. So that's why the dog looks he looks cleaner. The color is whiter, you know, just by combing out all of that old dead hair. Let me see if I. Oh, sorry about that. Again, I'm sorry. I left my tripod at home. Okay. So all I have left are these two legs. I already did the head, ears. See the back of this ear where there was a bunch of mats. The hair is starting to catch again. It's because it's starting to, you know, draw back together. You know, attract back together like Velcro, and it starts to attach to each other again. So I'm just gonna go through and kind of separate it a little more. There we go. Good boy, Remington. Okay. Now I feel a rough area here. I feel it. It feels like sandpaper. It feels rough because those pores are so full. So I go in here. There we go. Wow. And you can kind of see it too in the light. When I look here and look through the window, tiny little skin dirt is what I call it. Dander comes out. You can kind of see it floating out of the skin. So now when I do that and I got this stuff out of there, along with it comes the powdery stuff that you could see on there, the dead skin cells and all that. And now when I touch it, much smoother. Those bumps went away. See that? There we go. So this is skincare is what we're doing. You know, the haircut is the part that everyone cares about because that's the part that everyone sees. You know, I can get this haircut done in about an hour. You know, nice fluffy haircut, hand scissoring the whole body. Of course, I use clippers to set the length, but then I go through with scissors and shape everything out, sculpt it with my hands with the scissors. I can do that in about an hour. You know, it used to take me 2, 3 hours because it is very skill involved. But once I mastered the skill, I mean, I wouldn't say mastered it because I accidentally shaved a 10 spot on a dog's shoulder live on my YouTube channel the other day. So I can't say that I'm a master, but once I developed confidence in my grooming skills, now the grooms don't take that long. It takes less than an hour. But in order to get the hair looking and feeling nice so that I can give him a nice fluffy haircut, I have to take care of the skin first. Because if I don't do this work here and I give him a nice fluffy haircut and I don't shave him, I would be doing this dog and their owners a disservice. Because if I don't shave him, it's one or the other. I have to either do this or I have to shave him. Because if I left him long and I don't actually comb out all of this stuff that's causing the problems, then it's only going to get worse. And then he's going to get really matted. And then these areas here where it's just rough right now, that's all it is. But when I comb it out, it's all clear. These areas will start to fester. And when you get a blackhead or a pimple, when your pores get clogged and it's left that way, the skin, it tends to fester and it could get infected. And so then you're going to have a dog with skin infections. And it all happens gradually. And everybody wants to take their dog to a dermatologist and they want to prescribe it medicine. They just want to throw money at it. It's like, dude, you don't have to throw all that money at it. And plus, you're just sweeping it under the rug. You're not actually solving anything. This is what's going to help you, you know? And yeah, he's uncomfortable because I'm combing tangled mats out of his paws. So, of course, he's going to not like it. But look at that. Out of his feet, out of from in between his toes. That's where I was going right here. There we go. And yes, I'm going to shave this area, but I'm going to comb out all of that dead hair. And because I do this, because I actually comb out the hair between the paw pads and the toes, I don't ever have to dig in and shave in between there. Let me show you. Because, see that? It's never brown and nasty because I comb out all that dead hair. So now this hair is nice and soft right here and it's healthy. And healthy hair, like I told you with the pine cone analogy, healthy hair is like a green pine cone where all the scales are nice and sealed up and it's live, you know? And so healthy hair will actually repel water, moisture, dirt, when they get in the mud. It's actually just gonna slide right off these healthy hairs. And the dog seems to just air dry on their own, even when they go get muddy. The dirt, as they dry, the dirt seems to just fall off their coat because their live, healthy hairs are sealed and the oil is protecting it. And it literally repels dust, debris, bacteria, fungus, because the dry hair, the hair that has all the open scales, that's what's holding on to the bacteria. And because the bacteria is in the scales of the hair fibers, that's when the dog gets wet, they smell even more because the bacteria is in these hair fibers hiding inside there. And then as it gets wet, the hair is fibrous by nature, right? It absorbs water. So as the dead hair absorbs the water, it pushes out the odor causing bacteria out to the surface, and now you have a really smelly dog when the dog is wet. It's a little bit harder to notice how bad your dog smells when they're dry and when you spray cologne or perfume and stuff on them. But when the dog is wet, when you go outside and they get a little wet or something, then you all of a sudden smell like, oh man, my dog really smells. It's because that that old hair is holding on to all of the bacteria and all that dirt and dust and all that stuff. Microscopic, but still, it's enough to where, because they have trillions of hair all over their body, it's enough, even though it's all microscopic. When they get wet, all those trillions of hair get wet and all it's happening at once. That smell just hits you. All right. So now we just have this one rear leg left. Okay. And let me see if I can get him to turn, or maybe I'll just move this camera here so you can see this side here that I'm gonna do, this leg here. Sorry if anybody has motion sickness. Sorry about that. Okay, so I've already gone through all the legs with this just to break up and cut the mat, so I'm not tugging and pulling at his skin too much, because they have very sensitive skin, which is why they react the way they do. So I start with the wide side here, the wider side, and then you work your way up. Good boy. There we go. There we go. And so I'm combing, and then as soon as I catch something, I'm pulling out to pull it out of the skin. There we go. Oh, wow. There we go. But yeah, this is such an important step. If I don't do this, I really, there's no point in me moving on to the bath or drying him, like, why? It would do no good for me, in my opinion, you know? So that's why when the owners wash their dogs in between, thinking they're gonna help me, it actually causes me to have to work harder, longer, because they didn't do this. I guarantee you, they didn't do this before they washed their dog. They just thought, "Oh, my dog's dirty. I'm gonna wash them." When actually, if you knew what was going on and how their skin and coat works, because their skin and coat works a lot more like a horse's than our own. And with horses, they say don't wash them too often. Brush them every day, don't wash them because you're going to wash away those oils that the coat needs. So yeah, I guarantee you the owners didn't do this when well, not this guy here, because we've been talking more and more, and they understand now why I say brush more, bathe less. They understand now why I take hours, before I even give them a haircut. They understand all this now because it came real close. I almost fired them. So I think they get it now. But yeah, so they didn't watch this one. But I have other Doodle clients where, yeah, they'll wash their dog in between the grooms because they think their dog got dirty. But if they really understood how to take care of their dog's coat properly, they wouldn't think to themselves, "Oh, my dog's dirty, I gotta wash them." They would think to themselves, "Oh, my dog's dirty, I gotta brush him." You know, "Oh, my dog smells a little bit, I better comb him." It's all these dead hairs causing that odor. I better comb it out. Because what's washing it gonna do? You know what I'm saying? If I had a tattered pair of underwears that I had, shit stains on, skid marks, where I'm getting to that age now where sometimes I can't tell, is that a fart or is that a surprise? You know what I'm saying? And then boop, oops, surprise. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh shoot, I'm really too old to be doing this. But yeah, it's like, why did I even get into that? All I'm saying though is that if they understood why, oh yeah, that's right. That's why got into that, because let's just say that that shit stained underwear that's just tattered. I farted in it so many times. Now there's holes back there. You know what I'm saying? There's like barely any fibers of the cotton holding it together now. It's like a strainer, a noodle strainer back there. You know what I'm saying? Where my butthole would be. Like it looks like a freaking noodle strainer where you can just strain some noodles there, like, oh, you can just kind of see right through it, but it's still got some fabric, a real light layer of fabric just holding it together, right? Why would I wash that? You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, 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 sentimental value, man. I gotta wear it. I gotta wash that. No, you throw that shitty piece of underwear away and you buy yourself a new pair, fresh. That's how you stay fresh, right? That's how you keep your friends around. So, same thing with this dog. Why would I wash this? Why would I wash these old underwear? Right? It's just gonna smell the next time he gets wet. The next time I go to the gym, if I keep those underwear on, I keep my undershirt on, it's all nasty and sweaty, and I just keep, rewashing my old gym socks, right? And I never buy new ones. Every time I go to the gym, I guarantee you, even if I just washed it, once I start sweating, it's gonna start smelling because it's just embedded in that fat fiber now. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with the dogs. Why would you wash this old hair? You know what I'm saying? It's not going to do any good. Remove it. Remove it. We have the luxury of buying new clothes and putting it on. That's how we stay fresh. We have the luxury of doing that. They grow a luxurious coat from their skin. That's the only choice they have. But their coat is not going to look luxurious if their skin's packed full of shit because the coat reflects what's happening in the skin. Whenever you see a rough area on the skin, on the coat, a color change or something, I guarantee you underneath the skin, there's something rough going on. The coat reflects what's happening in the skin. So yeah, when the skin is all jam packed and working so hard, the coat's gonna look and feel like shit. But when the skin is nice and clear like this, and it can breathe now, and it can function properly because it's not working so hard to try to get rid of all this shit, right? Now the skin can grow because the skin is the hair factory, right? That's where the hair is being produced, is inside the skin. So the skin can now grow fresh, new, healthy, luxurious hair because the factory is clean and functioning efficiently. But when the factory is all full of shit and nobody's taking care of everything, you go into the freaking bathroom and there's a mouse on the toilet taking a shit, doing some crack. You know what I'm saying? There's like a freaking cat over in the corner doing heroin instead of trying to catch that mouse that's taking a shit on that toilet. You know what I'm saying? When the factory is in such horrible condition like that, how will that factory produce anything of quality? You know what I'm saying? Clean up that factory. Clean up this factory and it'll produce better product, right? So you clean the skin, you take care of the skin, and the skin will make a better product. It will grow beautiful hair, right? And your dog won't look like shit. All right, because nobody feels good when their dog looks like shit. I don't feel good when my dog looks like shit. I feel embarrassed, you know? So yeah, I mean, if anything, if you're not gonna do it for your dog, do it for your own vanity, your own ego. It doesn't feel good. It makes you look bad when your dog looks like shit. So do it for yourself, even if you're a selfish person like that. If you cannot find it in yourself to do it for your dog, be selfless. I'm gonna do this for my dog, because it's what's gonna help them and help them live a comfortable, healthy life and be beautiful inside and out. So I'm gonna do this for them. If you cannot find it in your heart to do that, at least do it for your own selfish reasons. My dog looks and smells like shit, and it's embarrassing when I go out in public or somebody sees my dog looking like that. Do it for your own selfish reasons then, you know? Anyways, I may be talking a little bit more real now because I decided I'm not going to be fake anymore. And I'm pretty much kind of wrapping things up here. My mom's coming back from Alaska on the 23rd this month, and then we're really going to start really planning down, putting dates down, and really just setting setting a timeline of when I'm going to be moving to Alaska. So yeah, now this video really is just in hopes that some of my clients will watch it, you know, and maybe because I'm not being so fake nice anymore, I'm not worried about hurting people's feelings anymore. I'm just talking plainly and trying to explain it as simply as I can so I can make it as clear as possible what I'm doing, so that if they miss what I was giving them, if they miss the quality that I was producing, at least if they can watch these videos, they'll know how to do it on their own. There was no magic. There was no secret sauce. There was no secret product. It was just my willingness to put in hours and hours of this, sweating to help your dogs feel better. That's what it was about. And I only realized how insane it was, what I was doing, what I'm doing now. I only realized how insane this was when I thought about hiring somebody else and asking them to do it. And I was thinking, I can give them the whole paycheck, I won't even take a cut. I'll just give them exactly what I'm getting paid. I'll give it all to them. It still wouldn't be enough to make me feel okay about what I asked them to do. Working that hard for that many hours, you know, so yeah, that's when I realized, and it's actually not everybody can do it. This is a very skittish guy. He doesn't really like to come up to me. I have to give him time when I first come here. And I sit down, I just kind of ignore him, give him space. Then he comes up to me. Then we cuddle. Then we go on a walk. Then I give him some treats. It's like a process with this guy, And it's like even understanding how to do that, even understanding basic dog behavior, because I studied all that because I wanted to understand how to get the dog to cooperate with me better without using chains and straps and muzzles and without using physical restraints. How can I get the dog to want to cooperate with me? That's a skill in itself. So I was realizing, like, to find somebody who does what I do the way I do it and then pay them what I'm getting paid would be ridiculous. That's when I started to feel resentful towards my clients. That's why I started asking them for more money. I raised the price on all of them. Oh, most of them, because some of them are just so generous that it makes me feel uncomfortable at raising the price on them. But yeah, it's like that's what I was doing. And then yeah, it's like, wow, some people were like playing the friendship card. Some people were, trying to tell me about our history together and this isn't like you. Some people were saying, like, June, this is a big jump, You were charging 90, now you're asking for 175 or 150. Like, whoa, this is too big of a jump. And for me, I replied back to them. I told them, don't think of it as a $90 to $150 jump. Think of it as if, how much would you be willing to pay if I stopped coming? to get me to come back? You know, how much would it be worth to you to try to avoid having to find someone to do this? Because it's gonna be, I mean, I'm not saying it's possible. I'm sure you'll find someone who will do this. 3, 4 hours of sweating, combing your dog out first. And then if they're not exhausted, I've built up the conditioning. This work never got easier. I just got better. I just, I remember I used to cry because the pain was so intense. My feet would cramp up. I would wake up with cramps in my legs and my feet, but my body has gotten stronger. I've conditioned myself, right? So anybody who is willing to follow my footsteps, right? And put in 4 or 5 hours of just sweating and just combing all of this stuff out, right? And then if they're not exhausted after the bath and drying them out completely, and they can do a really nice haircut, like me, like mine, not perfect, of course, but decent, right? Just, I'm not saying that you can't find someone that'll do that. I'm just saying that it's not easy. Trust me, I looked. It's not easy. So it's like, yeah. So I asked, I was telling them, is it worth $150 a month to you to avoid having to find someone to replace me because I'm not easily replaceable, you know? But then after that, I would just fire them because I would tell them I don't even want to go back anymore because it really was never about the money. It was about feeling appreciated. And I told them I just don't feel appreciated because I had to argue for it. And I told them if I feel like I have to pry the money out of your hands, keep it. I don't want it. You know? The whole idea was I needed to feel like I was being appreciated for what I was doing because I didn't feel heard, for the past 5 years trying to explain everything I'm doing, trying to show them, being kind, in the way I try to explain it. Um, they just they either didn't get it or they weren't listening, you know. And I feel like it's not that they didn't get it because people can earn college degrees in 4 years, and you telling me in 5 years they can't get this simple concept what I'm doing. So it wasn't. I don't think that it wasn't that they didn't get it. I feel like they just weren't listening. So yeah, I didn't feel heard. I didn't feel heard, and I didn't feel appreciated. And I know that I can't change someone's willingness or interest in listening to me. So I can't change that. I don't want to control somebody. So what can I control? Well, I can control the price, right? I'm the one that sets the price. So, well, then, yeah, if I'm getting paid a little more, I will feel more appreciated, at least more appreciated, more valued, even if I'm not being heard. Who cares, right? But yeah, when I felt like, oh wow, I'm not appreciated or heard, what the hell have I been doing this past 5, 6 years, 7 years? I've been doing this. I thought I was making a difference. I thought I was making a difference in people's lives. I'm definitely making a difference in this guy's life. He's much more comfortable now that this is all being combed out, right? He had to deal with it. That's why they itch themselves. So yeah, I know I'm making a difference in the dogs' lives, but I thought I was making a difference in the people's lives too. But yeah, that's why I was like trying to be so loyal. I kept telling my parents, I can't move to Alaska. The people here in Atlanta, they need me. They're counting on me. And I realized, wow, my loyalty uh, was in the wrong place. Now that I think about it, my loyalty should have been to my parents the whole time. But it's not too late, you know. So I mean, I can always plan it out. I think by next spring is when I'm probably gonna move out to Alaska. And I was thinking I can groom dogs in Alaska. That's what I'm going to do actually. First thing I do when I get out there is I'm going to start scouting out some of the I'm sure I'm going to find some people who don't want their dog shaved like an alpaca just because they're tangled up. So anybody who wants my service like I do here like this, if they want it in Alaska, I hear there are very wealthy people up there. So yeah, if they have the resources and they can pay me fairly, compensate me fairly for my time, because now I know what I'm worth, yeah, then I'll be willing to do another house call, kind of set up in Alaska. I don't want to call it a business because I thought I had a business until I fired everybody. Well, not everybody, but a lot of my clients, like more than half my client list is gone. I've probably fired about 3/4 of my client list. I got like 25% left. But yeah, once I fired everyone and the money stopped coming in, all the money that I had in my bank account and I had saved up and everything dried up pretty quickly, you know? And I realized, wow, that was such a false sense of security that I had. It was not a firm foundation to stand on like I thought. Just because the money was there, it kind of lulled me into this false sense of security, like, oh, the money will always be there. But seeing what I just saw and witnessing it, it's like, wow, um, yeah, if I go out hunting or fishing and have an accident and I can't work for a couple of weeks, guess what? I'm screwed. I realized that. I was like, oh, well, then I really don't have a firm business or anything firm to stand on here in Atlanta like I thought I did. You know, I thought I had a firm foundation here, but I don't. So, yeah, once I saw how quickly that well could dry up, I realized, I don't have a business. I have a job. You know, if I don't show up to work, I don't make no money, and that's not how a business works. A business is an it's like an organization, right? A entity that runs whether you're there or not. That's a business, you know. So I don't have a business. I have a job. You know, it is a job I created for myself, and I do report to myself and answer to myself, but it is a job nonetheless. It's just, you know, I'm my own boss, which is actually sometimes not even that great. I don't like being my own boss, you know, like I don't like really, I've never been comfortable being the decision maker. I'm the younger brother of two siblings, you know, like, and like I've never really had friends growing up, you know, like a group of friends. So I'm not good in group dynamics either. I'm not good at delegating, you know, so I'm not good at any of that stuff. So yeah, it's like I don't really want to be boss, you know? So I think moving to Alaska and just finding a nice grooming shop to work in, I think that's going to actually fit me so much better because I'm no longer the decision maker. I'm no longer the person that has to write the check for everything, you know? Just go in, do my job, and then think about the next place I'm gonna go camping, hiking, fishing, hunting with my dogs, you know, out in Alaska, out in the great outdoors. You know what I'm saying? Spend the rest of my time doing that. Like, yeah. Dude, I caught a bass the other day, yesterday. Oh my God. First time in my life I caught a bass. So I couldn't even believe it. I could not believe it as it was happening. I still can't believe it. Oh my God. I have it on my Instagram. But oh my God, it was just such an incredible feeling. And if that's all I do for the rest of my life is just interact with nature like that in a meaningful way, oh man, because I want to feel connected with the earth and with the food that I eat. So I cooked that bass last night. I thanked him, you know, oh man, thanked him for his life. You know, and I ate every bit of it. You know, I even sucked on the tail. I ate the brains, the eyes. I cooked the head. I did not want to waste a single piece of that fish because knowing that I took the life of one of God's creatures, beautiful. I mean, that fish was so beautiful. But knowing that I needed that nourishment, I cooked them for dinner. It was so, it tasted so amazing, but it wasn't just the taste. The feeling of catching it out of the water, seeing it alive, and cleaning it, and then cooking it, and then eating it, and feeling so grateful to that fish, feeling indebted to that fish, like Clay Hayes talks about. He was talking about how when he takes down a deer, he feels indebted to that deer. He feels indebted to that life. He feels so grateful, and he wants to make his life meaningful. He wants to do his best with his life, with his time here, because he feels like that's the only way to honor that life. Because otherwise, he took the life for what? So he could just waste his time here, you know? And he said, I doubt many people feel indebted to their Big Mac. And I really like that line. I really do. I don't think people feel indebted to their Big Mac or their Whopper and fries or even Subway. You know, when you go get a foot long sub, do you feel indebted to that sub? Do you feel like now you have to go and do something good with your life because you took that sub's life? No. So yeah, it's like I just that's what I want to do for the rest of my life. If that's all I do is hunt and fish and be a protector of the forest, be a steward of the forest, and try to always maintain a good balance for the ecosystem. If that's all I do for the rest of my life, I couldn't think of a better way to live out the rest of my existence, you know? But I'm still gonna groom dogs. And I told myself that I even wrote in my journal, if I ever became a millionaire, which, it doesn't even matter to me anymore, but I remember thinking, even if I did become a millionaire and money was no longer an issue, I would still want to do this because it's just so rewarding. Look at this. I mean, it just, your hands just feel so silky smooth now instead of rough, and dry and coarse and dull, lackluster. Now the color's back, the color's coming in. Oh man, it's like almost shining on its own, silky and soft. And I know that he feels much better now because all of that was bothering him, right? Mwah, mwah. You're welcome, Remington. Oh my god. So yeah, that's that. So this is, oh yeah, before I wash him, one last thing I'm gonna do, because now I got the comb to go through his entire body, even here in between his legs, like where his thighs are. Let me show you here. Even here, got all of that, right? Everywhere. There's still more there, but it's okay. Like I said, we're gonna get more from in the bath, and then when we dry him, more will come out. The point is not to get all of it out because you never will. It's impossible. They have too much. So the point is not to get all of it. The point is to get enough to where you can see a noticeable change. You can feel a noticeable change. The comb goes through better. This is all I wanted to achieve before washing him. Now that I've got this done, now I can wash him, and he's gonna lather so much easier because all that dead hair, it's not sucking up all that product, all the shampoo. So you don't have to use so much shampoo to get the dog lathered. They lather really nice now because this coat is nice and silky and smooth. And then they dry better. So there we go. So now that we got this done, I'm gonna do the close shaving in between not in between, the bottom of his feet in the sanitary area. There you go, buddy. Good boy. Wow, he's doing so good. This used to really freak him out. There we go. And it probably still does freak him out, but I've earned his trust. There we go. And that's why it's like, a lot of times people ask me like, how do you hold the dog so that they don't move, or how do you do it? And it's like, I mean, really, you just gotta focus more on getting the dog to trust you. And so when the dog trusts you completely, even though it makes them feel uncomfortable or something might cause them a little pain, discomfort, they trust you, so they're willing to let you do it, you know? But if the dog doesn't trust you, I mean, there's no amount of restraints, like the dog doesn't trust you, and that's why they're scared and freaking out and reacting. And so what? You're gonna clamp them down, strap them down, put a muzzle on them? What is this? Freaking Hannibal? Is this like the Silence of the Lambs or something? Like what? Why would you treat a dog like that? Why would you treat a dog like they're some psychotic serial killer or something just because they're scared and they don't really want you to do something? Why would you strap them down and restrain them like that, and then force them to let you do whatever it is you're wanting to do? I say it's much better to spend some time, invest some time in the relationship with dog. Have them trust you and have them love you and appreciate you. Show them how much you love and appreciate them. And then the dog, even though you got a skittish dog like him where he's just a nervous wreck, he was barking earlier just with someone who was walking by the house. you know Even though you have a dog with a personality like this, he still lets me do everything I need to do. He doesn't jump off the table. There's nothing here holding him onto the table except my Jedi mind power, of course, but my mind is too strong. But anyways, even if I wasn't a Jedi, if I did just spend the time to develop a relationship with him, like the little walk we took earlier, that means a lot to them. It only took what, 5-10 minutes out of my day, but to him that meant a lot that we went out and walked together. Because Cesar Millan says, fish swim, birds fly, dogs walk, people talk. You know what I'm saying? When people come together, we have a long conversation, or we have a conversation, we feel like we know each other a little better. With dogs, they don't talk like us. They don't have conversations like that. With dogs, when they walk together, they feel like they had a conversation. They feel like they know each other better. So when we walk together, that meant a lot for this guy. Okay, now I'm just gonna clean up his little. Oh, you're okay. I'm just gonna clean up your wee wee here. There you go. Alrighty. Okay, so a little tangent, right? And if you wanna turn this off now, because whenever I go off on a tangent, sometimes it doesn't turn out well. But here we go. I used to save the tip here. I used to save a little tip right there so that it would act as a wick to guide the stream and keep it cleaner. Because the I forget where I learned it, but in the class they were telling us that when you just shave it clean like this, where there's no tip, hair like a wick sticking out the front, they're saying that it splatters and it tends to get this area down here dirtier. So I used to save the tip. They call it the dick wick. Don't I warned you, all right? But anyways, I used to put a dick wick on there, right? Keep the dick wick, but now I just shave it off because that hair at the tip, having the pee stain there gets yucky. It does get yucky, and I figured the whole point of keeping that tip there was to keep things cleaner down there. But actually, it kind of made things a little more yucky because yeah, it might guide the stream, but you're peeing on the hair. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I just been shaving it off, and I've got no complaints. Actually, people like it better because it looks cleaner. And I whenever they pee, they lift their leg like this anyways. And so even if it was gonna hit his leg or something, it's still gonna do that whether there's a wick on there or not. I was thinking about it. I was like, why did I just accept that as truth just because someone said it and it kind of made sense? Like no. So now, no more dick wick for me. You know what I'm saying? You do what you want, live your life. You know what I'm saying? If you want to keep the dick wick, keep the dick wick. Okay, sorry guys. Let's see here. Now I'm gonna clip the nails and then I'm gonna give them a bath. And then in the bath, where I clip the nails, it's gonna soak up the water, causing this right here where I just clipped to get nice and soft, right? And then I'll just file it real quick after the bath. There we go. There we go. Wow, look at this. You're a pro. He used to pull bag and everything. There we go. Oh my goodness. So, okay, so when he used to pull back and jump and try to jump on me, even put his paws on my shoulders, like try to get me to stop clipping his nails, let's just say I did restrain him. Let's say I put a muzzle on him and I put the groomer's helper, gentle lead or whatever, and I prevented him from being able to jump, being able to paw at me. I prevented him from being able to do all of that, and I just forced him to deal with it, just accept it because he's now strapped down, and even though he wants to fight it, he can't. I bet you I would not be here right now doing this like this. You know, it's because I allowed him to work through it. I allowed him to work through his fears, and I allowed him to communicate with me. And I showed him that he's being heard. I understand how you're feeling. But even though I can't give him what he wants, which is for me to stop and not clip his nails, even though I can't give him what he wants, I can at least let him feel heard. Let him understand that I understand how you're feeling. I know you're scared, buddy. Mwah. And this is why I got to do it, though. And I continue doing it. I work with him. Now, look, I don't even need the overhead arm anymore. I used to. Trust me, I put it on because I didn't trust him. But now, I mean, he loves it. I love it. And this is proof. Look at how easy I just did the nails. Now I probably jinx myself. When I do the back nails, watch, he's even getting ready. Look, he's going to launch himself right on live camera, live TV. I mean, not TV, live on YouTube. Alrighty. There we go. Okay. Nice. Look at that. I mean, oh my goodness. Good boy. Oh my God. Good boy, Remington. I'm so proud of you. Mwah. Aw. And then I eat him. Ah, and I just eat his face. Like that. Anyways. All right, so that's it. Now I'm gonna go give him a bath. And then after that, it's all easy. This was the hard part. I front load all the hard work, the labor, because now bath is gonna be easy. I'll probably be done washing him in about 20, 30 minutes. Drying him will probably take another 20, 30 minutes. So about an hour, he'll be washed and dried. And then in another hour, I'll be done with the haircut. You know, it's like really, it's all easy from here, you know? And then the quality lasts because we put in the work. We built a firm foundation for this haircut to stand on, and it will stand the test of time, right? Okay. Wow. Whoa. Look at these comments. Some people wrote essays. All right. Let's try to do this fast as possible, quick as possible. And I'm saying because I'm a busy man. I don't know if you guys understand how much my time is worth, but a few pennies at least a few pennies. You guys owe me like 5 cents. All right. Hey Boo, how was that fish? That fish was amazing. Sue, oh my God, that fish was incredible. Okay. Anyways, and that's why I feel like today I really wanted to do my best to I woke up early, went back on the lake, on the river, tried to catch another fish. I got a few bites, but yeah. And then, oh my God, earlier I went to the Brookhaven Police Department. They called me. They wanted me to come in. They wanted to talk to me about something. I started shaking. Oh my God. And it turns out one of my clients, I'm not gonna mention any details, but just turns out one of my clients, something happened and they just needed to talk to everybody that, had contact with them. And oh my, horrible joke. You know the way I do. And I was like, "Can we edit that out?" Like, seriously. I mean, I was like, "I can't go to jail." Anyways, but yeah, everything's good. I got out of there. I'm not in jail. Because I was thinking about it. I was like, "What could I have done that would cause me to get arrested right now? Like, why are they calling me in to interrogate me?" And I know what an interrogation room looks like now. And I'm not proud of that. I am not proud of the fact that I now know what an interrogation room looks like, you know? But anyways, it is what it is, right? um, yeah, what could I have done that would have caused? Because I mean, I have done lots of things that would be, questionable. I like an raised eyebrow. People pointing fingers at me. Yeah, I deserve that, but I don't deserve to go to jail for anything. I don't think. Pam said he could be my Zoe's girl twin, my Zoe girl's twin. Oh, I enjoy your videos because you and Amy, I've learned so much. Oh, thank you, Pam. I'm sorry about my potty mouth. Claire says, hi, June. How you hanging? A little bit to the left, I think. Today it's a little bit to I'm just kidding. That was so inappropriate. Sorry, guys. I thought I was on my OnlyFans account. For a moment, I thought I was on OnlyFans. Um, what's up? You won't guess it. How are you? Okay, and also, I'm so glad you got the book. Dana says, "Hi June." Dana and Lilu the cat. Claire, hi June. Have you used Andis de-shedder just to discover? Yeah, I'm not really on a brand thing. If I didn't have the tools that I have, I'd use my teeth. I use my fingernails. Who cares? Chickens don't serve. What's up, Catherine? So brushing in between would be better. Yes, brushing would be better than washing. Much better. Hygiene, my corgi's got a bacterial infection from the groomers. She's finished all vet recommendation treatments. I'm terrified of bathing her to get rid of the excess fur dander that build up in case I cause further irritation. Do you recommend any specific shampoo conditioner that might help restore her coat? Combing, brushing, get one of these, undercoat rake, and that's gonna help bring your corgi's coat back to that luxurious, that soft, silky. Okay, let's see. Samantha says, I like washing them in their underhose. Yeah, exactly. Unterhose, whatever that is. Their undercarriage, I guess, right? My undercarriage. OMG, I can't stop laughing. It's true. Oh, yeah, nice, right? Underpants, yes. Okay, LOL, best metaphor ever. Nice. That's what I do. I sit up late at night coming up with like the best metaphors ever. Cat in the corner doing crack. Yeah, exactly. Not fake anymore. Exactly, right? But yeah, if you have a factory that's like that, you know, yeah, I mean, you would never buy the products coming out of that factory. Let's see here. I love the monologues. Always Alaska, I'm so yeah, right. Oh my goodness. What was stopping me? I was thinking like I want to hunt. I want to hike. I want to camp with my dogs. I want to go fishing. I want to live in the like. I want to live the outdoorsman. You know, spend my time in the great outdoors. I was like, the fuck am I doing here in Georgia then? I mean, Georgia's beautiful. I love it. I love everything I'm doing now: hiking, camping, hunting, fishing with my dogs. I love all of that I'm able to do here in Georgia. But I mean, come on. If you have an opportunity to go to Alaska, you know, okay. Alaska, very exciting. Good for you, Jen. Thank you, Samantha. Genosaurus Rex says, by the way, I really like that name, Genosaurus Rex. That's awesome. I think I'm gonna steal it. Anytime anybody meets me from now on, I want to say, hi, I'm Genosaurus. I'm Genosaurus Yoon. You know, and if anybody asks me, where did you get that? That is so clever. It just came to me one day. I was meditating, so that's why you need to meditate. I was meditating so hard, it just came to me. I was like, holy shit. I'm Genosaurus. I'm Genosaurus Rex. Anyways, I love how people think dog grooming is easy, bro. I would pay 200 plus for a groomer with your knowledge, compassion. That wow, thank you, Genosaurus Rex. I'm coming over, and I'm definitely not rich. Okay, still, if you're gonna pay me, pay me. Youngest of two half sisters and sisters. I get it. Yeah, exactly. Myra says maybe you should go vegan. I tried that. The life that I live, my lifestyle, this took a lot of physical effort. Like I said, I used to wake up in the middle of the night with cramps all over my body. My shoulder used to hurt so much I couldn't lift it. It takes a toll on the body. I could not sustain my energy levels on a vegan diet. I'll just be honest with you. Let's see here. Samantha, wonderful June, makes sense, amazing. Oh, he's so cute. Good to see you live. Thank you, Erica. I'm no longer a dog groomer, and yet I feel happy to see your work. Oh, Erica, that's awesome. Nice. Yeah, I don't think I'll ever stop grooming dogs. Even if I don't do it as a profession and I'm not doing it to accept money anymore, I'm still going to be doing it. Even with my own dogs. Shoot, I got to groom my dog. That's why I say it's like if you own a dog and you brush your dog, you comb them out, guess what? You're a groomer. You're grooming your dog. When you check your dog's nails, make sure they're not too long. When you pick the boogers out of their eyes, get those eye boogers out, those crusties. When you check their ears, make sure their ears are clean and not infected. When you check their teeth, this is all grooming. You're grooming your dog. Just because you can't give them a haircut the way I can, you know, like with my scissors, because, you know, I'm a master. I already told you, right? Oh my God, I almost stabbed myself because that's what masters do. We almost stab ourselves, but it's fine. It's never going to happen. So I just jinxed myself. Watch me stab myself later. But all I'm saying is that if you are a dog owner, if you own a dog and you take care of your dog, you're a dog groomer. You're your dog's groomer. Someone else may need to give your dog a haircut because you suck at it. No, just kidding. Let's see here. Wigglebuds grooming. Oh my God, Terry K. Wow. Okay, that's it. I'm only gonna stream live when Terry K is available. I'm gonna text her first. I'm like, hey Terry, you available? I'm about to stream. You got that cash ready, right? You got that cash on deck? No, I'm sorry. That's my way of uncomfortable way of saying thank you, Terry. Oh my God. Um, Wigglebutts Grooming says, had a dog with the dirtiest ears I ever saw. What brand wash do you recommend? Do you think it's just me doing every 6 weeks can help? Yeah, and so the ears, you want to make sure that there's no hair blocking the ear canal. So when you see him, I didn't pluck his ears today because there's no need to. So I always check, but I don't always pluck. See that? So you can tell that the air can flow through those ear canals. So I didn't pluck those ears today. But if the hair had grown in long enough to where now the hair was crowding that hole, that ear canal, then I would pull those hairs out. I would pluck that hair out because this ear needs to be able to breathe. But it still also needs some hair to protect from stuff going in there, right? So you want some hair, but not enough to where it's blocking airflow. Because when it blocks airflow, the ear gets moist and warm. And I remember Dr. Hamrika at Sugar Hill Animal Hospital told me that when a dog's ear gets warm and moist, that's a breeding ground for bacteria. That's why their ears get infected. So you want to make sure that there's no hair inside the ear canals. And then I like to use witch hazel if I do have to clean their ears out. I usually don't clean their ears out because I feel like I don't want to go in there and interfere with stuff, the natural flora, if I don't really know what I'm doing, right? So witch hazel seems to be a really nice natural product that doesn't do a lot of damage or, you know, doesn't have any like adverse effects, you know? So if I have to clean their ears, I like to use witch hazel. Um, let's see here. Erica, totally understandable. I still check other people's dogs, and my dog passed away. But yeah, once you're a dog groomer, always a dog groomer. Exactly, Erica, for life. Now I'm talking about son. You crack me up. I'm thinking Terry. Oh man, Wigglebutt said he had a little hair, but the buildup was horrible. I was afraid to pluck it if there was an infection. Now here's what what was his name? Dr. St. Anji at the Brookhaven Animal Hospital. When I was speaking with him, he told me that when if the ear looks infected, if it looks really nasty and just really there's a lot of buildup, he's saying that's the best reason to clean it out. Pull all that hair out and clean it out. And then I told him, but groomers, we're taught that if it looks infected, don't pull the hair, don't clean it out because we're only going to expose fresh new skin to the infection and we're going to make it worse. And Dr. St. Anji told me, I understand that argument. He's like, it kind of makes sense. But he was like, from where I'm coming from, the ear's already compromised. Let's do something to help it. You know, I was like, that makes so much sense, Dr. St. Anji. Thank you so much, But he was saying, like, yeah, the ear's already compromised. If it's going to be, it's already infected. You can tell. So he's like, let's clean out that gunk. Let's pull out the dead old hair and then give the ear a clean environment to heal itself. Same thing I say with the skin. We'll clear out the skin of all the junk that's clogging it, and then we give the skin the best environment to heal itself, right? And that's the same thing with the ears, you know. And so here's a little exception though. If you're gonna send the dog to the vet, you let's say you're about to groom the dog, you check its ears and it's pasty, it's black and pasty and sticky and nasty, and then you can tell it's definitely infected, right, and inflamed. And you're gonna send the dog to the vet. Call the groom right there. Don't move any further in the groom. Don't even touch the ears. Leave it as is if you're sending them to the vet. Because if you clean that ear out and then they go to the vet won't have a good sample to swab. You see what I'm saying? So if you're gonna if it's not so bad that you have to call off the groom and send them to the vet immediately, right? In that case, don't clean the ears. Leave it for the vet. But if it's not that bad and you feel like it's just really dirty and I could clean it up for them, then clean it very well because if you're afraid that you're going to cause it to get worse, it's already compromised. The ear's already compromised. Let's clean it the best we can and give it a clean environment to try to heal itself. And then you can always follow up with the owners in a few days, see how it's going. If it doesn't get any better, send them to the vet, right? Okay. Um, Elsie says, Hygiene, yes, no need to pluck all the ear hairs out. Exactly. They're there for a reason, right? Which is why I don't like to shave in between the paw pads unless it's really nasty and brown and gunky. Like there's a possible infection down there. That's when I shave it all out and clean it. But I don't like to shave the in between the paw pads because when they're running around the grass and everything out there, there's little things sticking in there. This hair protects them, right? Okay, let's see. Myra says, how often should your dog get their anal glands expressed? Anal glands, here's the thing about anal glands. Because it's a gland, the more often you manually empty it, say you do it every 4 weeks, the gland starts to fill up every 4 weeks. So try to wean them off if you can. If you have a dog that every 4 weeks they come in, you squeeze their anal glands, it's always full. I mean, try to wean it off a little bit. It could be their diet and stuff like that. But yeah, I check their anal glands, and unless they're really full, like bulging, I don't really like to mess with it, because first of all, some vets believe that groomers should never express anal glands because they're saying that's an internal organ, and anything that has to do with internal should be the vet's responsibility. That's what some vets think. So do with that what you like. Uh, XO, what is that? Zadi C. Marlin says, what's up? What's up? Terry K, do you use cotton balls to keep water out of the ears during the bath? No, I I just make sure I cover their ear like this when I spray the water and clean it so no water gets in. But yeah, I used to use cotton balls, but first of all, sometimes I forget to pull them out. That's really not good. And also, the cotton ball could get wet. And if the cotton ball is wet, then guess what? When they shake, the the water can't shake out, and also the wet cotton ball is dripping water in their ear canal. So I feel like if it is going to get wet here by accident, at least they could shake the water out. But with the cotton ball stuck in there, the cotton ball is now wet and damp, so I don't like to use cotton balls. Let's see here. Erica, yes, that was the argument some customers fought the most. But first, vet, then groom. They better have the right answer than just half the answer. Exactly, exactly. Elsie, I groom at animal hospital. I've seen so many ear infections. The vet tells us to take a sample and then clean it out so he can treat it. Aha, one less step for him to do. Perfect. That, you know what? Thank you so much, Elsie. Groomers, if you want to get in good with your vet, right, and have your vet like you a little more, right, which there's so many benefits to having a good working relationship with the local vet. Do that. Take a sample for the vet before you clean it, then clean the ear out for him so he can treat it and send them to the vet. You know what I'm saying? Even if you are going to call off the groom, if you do that one little extra step, go the extra mile, right? Because when you go the extra mile, you never find any traffic there. Brian Tracy said that. But yeah, it's true. When you go the extra mile, you'll never find any traffic there. And that is going the extra mile, right? So you're already going to call off the groom. You're going to send the client to the vet. Yeah, take a sample before you clean it. So now the vet has a good sample to work with. Clean it out for the vet. So now he doesn't have to do it. And all he has to do now is just treat it. Your vet's gonna love you. So will your clients. And your vet will probably have a conversation with the dog owners. And he'll probably say, you know, I've never seen a groomer do that. Like that shows a lot of knowledge, a lot of competence, like your groomer is a professional. Like I actually really respect your groomer for doing this. Now the dog owners are going to be like, oh my God, I have the best groomer. So it's doing little things like that, doing little things to give your clients a reason to brag about you, right? Giving your clients a reason to say something nice about you to their friends. My groomer does this. Can you believe it? And that's what it is. Giving your clients a reason to be loyal to your brand, whatever it is. You can't just say, just love me, just be loyal to me. No, you got to give them a reason. All right, Wiggle Buds Grooming. Thank you for all your time, all your wonderful info. You're welcome, guys. But yeah, I got to get going. I'm going to watch this guy finish up the haircut. See ya.